What's going on, it's the RapNerd, and I am here today to review the Invitation, the unrated version. Now, if you are subscribed, you saw that I made a post when Invitation first released last month saying that I'm just going to wait for the unrated release because the film was supposed to be rated R, but I think they cut stuff out and did whatever to make this movie PG-13, I guess, for ticket sales. So knowing that, I'm like, I'm not even gonna watch the theatrical version if this is the version that it was made to be. And so I just want to put that up there first, and this is why this review's coming this late, because the movie just dropped on digital, I think last Tuesday, and I just got around to it last night. So I'm fresh off the movie, and this movie's pretty mediocre. I'll say, I don't think it's great, and I don't think it's bad as people are saying it is. I think there's actually a story here. I think the lore that they created within the story, it's definitely there, but it just isn't. It doesn't live up to the potential that it could have, because I think the approach to it is very flat and hollow. A lot of the scares that we get and things that happen are all things that we've seen before, and that's not to say that I wanted something completely different, but I think you can approach things that have been done before uniquely in your own way, and nothing in the film really felt very unique. Like I said, it checked all the boxes of what a spooky, haunted house should be. And I guess another detriment to the film is that the trailer literally reveals everything that happens. The trailer is like 2 minutes, and the whole story is within the movie. And I think the film could have been more impactful had they not put so much in the trailer. Like, I don't know who's seen it without the trailer and how that affects your experience, but I know for me, I was sitting there watching it, and while getting into the movie, I kind of zoned out, because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. I know where this is going to lead. They present every single plot point in the trailer, and all you're kind of waiting for is how it's going to end. But I will say that, again, the setup and the story that they did for this film, it could have worked a lot better, but it just, again, it fell flat. I say the lead actress, Natalie, she is the one redeeming factor of the film, the major redeeming factor of the film. I think she does give a good performance. Every look of terror and fear, and when the situations really hit, you feel it 100%, just because of the way she's acting. And like I said, everyone else is stereotypical of what you would expect from a movie. So if you don't know what the film is about, pretty sure you do. This girl who's down on her luck is approached by someone who tells her that she has kinship to royalty over in England. And they pretty much say they want to fly her out. She got flew out and all her expenses paid for, just to go to a wedding, because they wanted to get the family back together. So of course, as we all know, it goes bad. And that's one of the things about the film that also kind of makes it like, it's like a lot of decisions in the film just don't really make a lot of sense from a real standpoint. I don't know too many people who would just really believe that somebody they don't know tells them that they're kinship to royalty and they want to fly them out. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just the radar in me, but I wouldn't quite buy that. I would be like, nah, I'm gonna pass on that, chief. It's almost like an extreme version of Get Out, because at least in Get Out, he had a reason to go there, even though it's still a little iffy, but that was his girlfriend, and they were just going for a family event. Here, she doesn't know anybody, and she's just showing up just to show up. So that aspect to get her there, I feel like is paper thin, but even when she gets there are just decisions that you're just like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course she has the stereotypical friend that's there to, like, talk to her in the same kind of light of Get Out. Lil Rel's character to Chris, she's talking to the whole time, make sure she's okay, and I'm really getting tired of that, honestly. And this is why I say the approach is similar to what we've seen before. We saw that in Get Out was the first one, and then there are a slew of other ones. Hell, a movie earlier this year that released called Fresh kind of did the same thing. And it just gets a little bit tiring to just have a sidekick character there, especially the black friend. I feel like that's really tiring, in my opinion, honestly. I guess some positives about it are, I think, like I said, they had something. I think the creep factor that they created with the way they were presenting scares were effective in some ways, but you know, when they're first presented, you're kind of like, oh, this could be something. And then when the way it's executed in a full scene, it's like, this is the same stereotypical things that we've seen in all horror movies, you know. And you see it coming a mile away. Like, there's one scene when Natalie's character is standing in the frame. And one thing about this film that's funny is they really double down on the rule of threes to like try and make these great looking frames. And I'll admit, it's a good looking movie, you know, for sure. But it's apparent, like it almost comes off as a film that just stuck to the guidelines of what filmmaking is to make a good film, and not really will make a film that's okay and not really something that's personalized. And that's one of the issues. I'm like, this movie doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like there's any type of personal input or style or character from the actual director. It's just a movie that it's like they read a book and was like, okay, so this is a conversation, so we're gonna shoot this. We're gonna have the character framed on the left to show the rest of the background to block the scene. Like, it feels like a movie that's like that. And one particular scene, like I said, her character is I think on the left side of the screen, so you can see everything behind her. And it would have worked effectively too. Like, there's this hand that pops out, like this weird looking little hand you see like this on the door, and it's blurred out, but you see the hand, and it's just the way that it's done. It's just like kind of strange. And then they cut to another scene, and then of course it's stereotypical. They cut back, and there's a figure right there. I'm like, just something like that could have been done so much better because you led off with something good. But again, I think the textbook part of it comes in when you're like, oh, when it cuts back, we'll show the reveal, and it's standing there, and it's a big jump scare, and then she turns, and then it cuts back to something else. It cuts to some other view, and then it cuts back to her in the same view, and the figure's gone, and then somebody else pops up. It's like, you see everything coming a mile away. Even the ending is like, there was a chance to really let loose and go ham, and I was hoping that was gonna happen. It involves, I'm not gonna spoil it, because if people wanna watch it, they can watch it, but it involves something at the end, and they even present the idea again, which is okay storytelling, but they present this idea earlier on, and she thinks of the same idea, and they present it the same exact way it was earlier. And you know, she does this thing, and there's an opportunity here that they could have made this particular scene just a straight up massacre, you know, and we as the audience would have been rooting for the lead character had they done this, but they went about it so tame and so stereotypical. It just was like, okay, I see where we're going. So, and the funny thing is, it's like not a preacher or somebody who ordains people to get married. Dude is dressed like Noob Saibot. I was like, Mortal Kombat? Like, what's going on? But all in all, I think it's a very mediocre movie. I probably wouldn't watch it again, and I don't know if I would even recommend it. I think if you just were curious, you could see it, but it's not really much to say about it, you know. I was hoping it would be at least have some cool scenes that I could remember, but I don't even think it has that, honestly. And then again, it's just like straight down the middle. It feels like a horror movie made by a textbook. Like, you know, somebody was like, check this box, check this box, check this box, and boom, you have a horror movie, you know what I mean? So, and let me add to this. It says this is the unrated version, and I'm sitting here watching it just kind of like, okay, if all of this is in the unrated version, what was cut out? Because even with this being rated R, it still didn't feel that crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? It still felt like it was tame. It wasn't something that I don't see where a huge difference could have been made for a theatrical version. So I don't know if maybe the theatrical version is worse than this because of what they cut or what they didn't, you know, leave in the film, because I'm just watching and it still felt like a PG-13 movie. The only difference is there was, you know, some blood, but I don't think there was anything gruesome enough to warrant a rated R. And they said the F word a few times, but I'm confused about why anything was cut, to be real. I don't get it, you know, because if this was just mediocre, then I can only imagine what the theatrical version was. Because if you check this film out, let me know what you think down low in the comments. And if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. And until next time, peace. RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.